Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of the All In Events podcast with me, Adam Wengro, live coming in your ears. Today, I wanted to talk to you about my journey and how I started playing poker, leading all the way up until now and working alongside All In Events. So stay tuned, listen up. This is my story. Well, hello everyone. This is it. This is me sitting back casually, trying to talk about myself without anyone asking me any questions, just to give you a bit of a story about my journey as a now all in events ambassador in the poker world, which to me, even now, is such an amazing thought, an amazing thing to say. I'm very, very proud to be involved with all in events and making content for them and promoting the goal that they are trying to achieve. So it's all really exciting for me. And my poker journey hasn't been very long. I am 31 years old, and it's now 2026. I've been playing poker since 2019. So what are we talking? 7 years now. So not an awful amount of time. But I want to go back to kind of just before then and what I was doing at the time and what got me into playing poker. So go back into sort of 2017, 2018. I was gambling. I was playing a lot of online slots, live blackjack, all online. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, it completely took over my life, and not in a positive way whatsoever. It was actually a really horrible, horrible time for me where I was spending all my spare cash on gambling. It was miserable. Um, I didn't particularly. I worked ridiculously hard. I worked two jobs at the same time. I worked in insurance, and I also worked as a doorman on Norwich's finest, Prince of Wales Road, on the nightclubs. And I was working 6 days a week. Sunday was the only day off. I didn't particularly have a social. Work was my social life. Working on the doors down Prince of Wales Road, that was my weekend. That was my social life. And I look back now, and I did enjoy it. I loved it. I saved money. I didn't go out drinking. I saved money not doing things. I was earning money, which was great. But on the flip side of that, that extra money that I was earning, that spare cash that I had, was all going on the next blackjack session, or the slots online. And yeah, it came to a point where I realised, actually, do you know what? Jesus Christ, I'm not saving any money here whatsoever. I'm using every last penny I've got to throw away. So I was really fortunate when I was that age that I didn't get carried away, and I didn't get myself into any debt troubles, but I GamStop myself. So I signed up to UK's GamStop, which, if you don't know, if you're not from the UK, essentially just it's a self exclusion from all online gambling in the UK. So I did that in 2018. I want to say 2018. So before I started playing poker, and yeah, I kind of never looked back, and it was amazing. What a change for me that was. I managed to buy a house with my then girlfriend at the time, and that's something I never thought I was going to be able to do in such a short space of time. So that we bought the house within a year, because I was able to save all the spare money that I had. And yeah, it was excellent. It was brilliant that I was able to do that. I left my two jobs. I didn't at this point through the gambling and everything like that. I then sought the career change that I had wanted for a long time, and I became a police officer. Now this is going back into 2017. Although GamStop came in 2018 for me, I did start with the police in the latter end of 2017, and had an amazing career. It was great. I no longer work in the police as we speak now, but yeah, I became a police officer in 2017 full time. I was a special constable beforehand as well. But yeah, so I did that. And then in 2019 is when I was then introduced to poker. Now, my crew partner at the time, an amazing guy, will not be named. He and I played chess occasionally on shift, if we're on a night shift or a late shift, and we were sat waiting for something to come up. The type of team that we were on was a proactive team, and we'd often wait for things to happen. And occasionally we would be waiting, sat up, and just holding position, and we would play chess from time to time, and we'd then play chess sometimes outside of work as well on chess.com. But he said obviously that he played poker in his spare time, and he enjoyed that. And I had kind of, when I first turned 18, played a bit online, but never really understood it, didn't really understand what was going on with the game, and never really found a desire to learn how to play. But when he said about playing again, and I should have a look at it, it didn't take me long to start having a look and jumping back into having an online account and playing some online poker. And that's kind of where it started, really. I'd play in some $1 tournaments, $2 tournaments that he was playing in on a weekend on our rest days, and I'd jump in and play, and I really enjoyed it. It was great, and we had that, we'd talk to each other about our hands and our bad beats, and I started learning poker. And then came a period of me starting to stream on Twitch, not poker related, but of course 2019, the latter stages into 2020 was the start of COVID-19, and so yeah, on off playing a little bit of poker. Not, I'm not talking every single day. There was nothing like that. It might have just been once every couple of weeks or something like that. Might have £1 or £2 on a tournament or whatever. Of course, yeah, we're in the height of COVID. Now, COVID didn't stop the police working. We continued working as normal throughout. But one thing for me, because I would often be on late shifts or night shifts, I would be off work during the daytime. And in came the phase of everyone working from home. And I loved nothing more than playing a bit of Call of Duty before a late shift. And lots of the lads were at home working remotely. Hadn't really done this before, but and lots of people never had that opportunity. But of course, everyone was then working from home if they could. And I just started. You could stream from your Xbox to Twitch, and the lads were like, "Oh, we're at home, we're working. Just stream to Twitch, and we'll watch you play COD on the side." And what meant or started as a bit of a I'll do it so you can have a little look, turned into this sort of, well, do you know what? I quite enjoy this. This is quite fun. I wasn't ever any good at COD. Like, I wasn't horrendous. But one of my best mates, SB, will tell you that I'm shite, but I'm not. I'm not that bad. But it was the entertainment factor. It was the commentary that came with it. The the humour around it, which I think I really enjoyed. And one thing led to another, and before you know it, you've got a PC, and you're actually streaming. You get yourself a webcam, and then you get yourself a green screen, and I'm streaming COD. And then of course, I was still playing poker on the side as well, and I then happened just to stumble across um, Twitch poker. So people that were streaming poker on Twitch, and the first person that came up on, who's number one in the charts when I first viewed it was Spraggy, and our Benjamin Spragg, and it was kind of that year, 2020, that I then really fell in love with the game, and watching Spraggy play online, and yeah, I kind of just went with it. I joined his Discord community. Was very much involved in that in the early stages. Just interacting with people on there, and always in chat as well. Got myself involved and loved every second of it. It was brilliant. And come the end of COVID, and we're out the other side. It was time for me to then sort of get stuck into my first actual live event after playing online for a couple of years. So I was very excited for that, because we were out of COVID. So 2022 came, and I remember just before I went to my first live event, I had gone on holiday on a cruise ship, and on there they had poker tournaments, as they do on cruise ships. It's great. When you have a sea day, you normally end up having a poker tournament, and I went along and I played for the very, very first time, chips in hand, at a proper poker table. Um, played poker, and I loved it. It was brilliant. I posted all about it in Spraggy's Discord, and I even bought a Spraggy hoodie. I wore it on the cruise ship when I was playing poker. I was that into it, and so yeah, I played for the first time. Again, it was something that I very much was like, wow, yeah, I love this. This was a great buzz. I enjoyed it, and I finished third place. There was, I think, if I rightly remember, there was probably about 16 players in total, and I finished third place. The first time I played live, first time I'd handled chips, first time I had to deal with anything like that, and it is different. It takes an adjustment the very first time you play live, and it's quite daunting. You've got real people next to you. You haven't got just these little virtual names. You can't F and Jeff at them when they beat you in a hand. You can't do any of that. You can't do any of the stuff that you do online. You have to you have to show some etiquette, which was new to me, because I've just played online and shit spoke every time I lost a hand, even though I didn't really know how to play the hand, and I deserved to lose because I was horrendous. I was shocking. I didn't know anything about poker. I still didn't, and I'm playing live on this cruise ship, and I really didn't know anything about strategy. Like, I hadn't done any form of study. There was nothing like that. It was just I enjoyed the game. But yeah, we fast forward a little bit further forward to the August of that year. So after I'd finished that cruise, a month later or so, I'd arranged to go to the EPT London, which was on in Mayfair at the Hilton Hotel down there. And annoyingly, just a couple of days beforehand, I played a football match, and I got really badly injured. I really buggered my knee. I was in agony. I remember getting clattered by the striker. I was playing in goal, and I've never screamed like it. I was in absolute agony, and I got dragged onto a wheelchair, wheeled to the car of my mate, and he drove me to A&E. And they told me that I just tore my calf muscle, and that was on the Saturday. And on the Monday, I was then travelling to London, and I was going to stay at my mate's for a couple of days. So I had these crutches. I was told just to, you've torn a calf muscle, and wait 5 weeks, you'll be absolutely fine. So I've gone off on these crutches, hobbling along. I've got a bus into the city, in Norwich, just about 5 miles away from where I lived at the time. And then I had to walk down probably about a mile to the train station on these crutches. I'd never walked on crutches before, and I was absolutely knackered. I was sweating like a pig, in absolute agony. Got onto the train. Now, and also, I didn't realise you could ask for additional assistance at the train station. The bloody disability, because I needed a disabled thing, because I couldn't like sit in a normal area. I needed to stretch my leg out, and yeah, the bloody disabled bit was at the front of the train. Well, that's fucking 3/4 of a mile down the bloody platform. So I thought that's brilliant. So I get on this train, I'm dripping with sweat, and off I go to London. And I hadn't registered at the Hippodrome before because I hadn't had a membership. I'd never really been into a casino outside of the Grosvenor in Great Yarmouth. So I needed to go straight away when I got into London to Leicester Square to go and register at the Hippodrome. And if you know your trains and you know your underground, you'll know that at Leicester Square there is no escalators, there is no lifts. You have to walk up stairs to get out of the tube station. Well, Muggins here didn't know that, not listened to any of the announcements, or even considered thinking that there might not be a lift or a escalators at a bloody tube station, underground, God forbid. And so yeah, I get out of the underground once I've made it into London. Again, complete faff, and I'm climbing up these stairs on two crutches, all the way out of Leicester Square Station, and I'm dying at this point. I am absolutely. I've got me bags. My mate has met me. He's carrying one of the bags, but he couldn't carry both of them because he had his work gear. And anyway, we get to Leicester. I registered for the Hippodrome, which is where you had to register to, even though it was being held at the Hilton. You had to register at the Hippodrome in order to be able to register on the day. Anyway, that night, I wasn't playing that night. I wasn't going to go to the venue or anything like that. It was purely a case of getting registered at the casino, ready for the Tuesday, for the mystery bounty, which is all I was going to play. The £440 mystery bounty. That was it. That's all I had. I'd saved up for months. That was my only bullet. I didn't have any more money. That was it. That's all I went with. £440 mystery bounty. And anyway, so I've gone back to my mates and we've fucking hobbled. We've hobbled. I get back and I am in agony. Like I have like my ribs are in pain. I feel like I've done a workout for 10 hours on my abs because of just the crutches. It was horrendous. And I couldn't sleep that night. I was in so much pain. I couldn't turn over in bed. And I woke up the next morning and my whole body was absolutely in tatters. And I've slid out of bed and my leg is in bits as well. My leg, bearing in mind I'd taken all the weight off it all day on those crutches. And I looked at the back of my leg and the whole thing was black. It was completely black. And that's not an exaggeration at all. And I was like, what the hell have I done to my leg? It's not right. It's clearly not a torn calf muscle. I have buggered this leg. But of course, I'm in London. I'm going to play poker. I can't do anything about it now. So there I am, hobble along. I toddle off. I get into my Uber. And I go off on my way, on my crutches, to the Hilton Hotel in Mayfair. And I go and register in the $440 Mystery Bounty Tournament. Now, bearing in mind, I'm only playing maybe online at this point, maximum $22 tournaments. So this is by far the biggest ever buy-in. I should not be playing a £440 tournament after only playing poker for a short while online. But I really wanted to. I saved for this moment. I was excited. I 440 quid. I needed that 440 quid. Don't get me wrong, but I'd saved for it. I could have used it on anything else, but I really wanted to play in this poker tournament. And yeah, so we get in, we sit down. I'm excited. I take a photo of the table. Again, this is the first proper poker table I've ever played at. It's got EPT all over it, and I am someone who has never played poker live before. and didn't really again understand poker very well at all. Completely blind into this tournament, and yeah, we lasted 25 minutes in that tournament. It was an experience, a very expensive experience. 25 minutes for £440. Um, yeah, it went like that, bang. But what really did make that experience amazing is meeting a dear friend of mine now, Rick Dolph, part of Spraggy's community, who is absolutely the most amazing guy. And we have shared some great memories now over the years. He's from Seattle in the States. He was over to play poker, to chill with Benjamin and loads of the other guys. And yeah, so we met, obviously hit it off, met up with Spraggy. Adam Mikola was there, Rory Jennings, Seb Huber, all the guys. And I chilled with them for the rest of the time there. I didn't play poker again, but these guys, we just hit it off. It was brilliant. The next couple of days that I stayed there for, we obviously in between the poker, which I did turn up. I still went every day and I supported. I was railing everyone, and just being around the atmosphere and soaking up the atmosphere, which was brilliant. But yeah, they really made me feel welcome. They took me in, adopted me as the, I guess I was disabled person at the time, hobbling around everywhere. We went to this weird restaurant which was underground, which again I had to get down some stairs, almost had to slide down on my ass to get down there. And we had pizza in the basement somewhere, which was really nice. So yeah, it was a really lovely experience, and that for me is when I knew that I'm surrounded by the right people, the people that are very like minded with me, and I got on well with, and it was amazing. So I knew that I wanted to be in and around poker. I wanted to learn poker, and I wanted to get better at poker, because this is the kind of people that I want to be around. These are people I see is going to be really good friends for life, and yeah, it was exciting. It was really exciting. I loved every second of it. And then yeah, we kind of went on a dry spell after that. We didn't go to another live event for a very long time. We didn't do any real live poker particularly at all for a short while after. That was 2022, and yeah, that was kind of it really. I didn't have the money. I didn't have, if I'm being honest with you, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the bankroll to go and play poker a lot. But that's really what made me fall in love with the game. Is the poker community. So yeah, anyway, I digress. I've gone on and on, but that's kind of what made me fall in love with the game and poker in 2022. So then we moved forward on to 2023. I played my first Goliath event just before I went and worked on a cruise ship. So I took a career break from the police in July 2023 and went and worked on a cruise ship as an entertainment host, hosting game shows, quizzes, all the fun stuff you can think of on the quiz. I was there with a microphone in hand, hosting on Tui's Morella, and that was short-lived. But prior to going on that ship, I went to the Goliath, but ever so slightly before that is a little turning factor, which made me realise that actually I'd been putting in a lot of work. And I'd bought a BBC package, I'd done some study, and I was feeling a lot better about playing poker. And I had to go on a training course for the cruise ship. You had to learn sea survival, basically, in short terms. And I went to Liverpool for a week for a course. And I happened to notice on the Sunday night before the course started on the Monday that at the Leo casino in Liverpool, the Grosvenor there, they had a £55 poker tournament, so 50 plus your £5 charge, on the Sunday night starting at 7 o'clock. And I thought, you know what? I'm in Liverpool. I'm going up the night before anyway, before my course. I've got a hotel for the week. Let's go and check it out. So I went and played. And played I did. Now, I was documenting the journey on my personal Instagram account. I was just posting little updates about it, not really thinking much of it. We had a slow start, up and down. And before we know it, we're getting late. We're getting into the late game. And we're 4 hours in, we're hitting the final table. I'm thinking, shit, I'm still in. I'm doing really bloody well here. I could go on and win this. And there was a big hand that I remember. I had pocket kings and I jam pre-flop, get called by the big blind who had ace jack. He covered me, and I'm thinking, oh right, here we go. This is it for me. And there was an ace on the flop, and I start getting up, about to get ready to leave, and turn card, no luck, and on the river comes a king. And I just knew at that moment that king came down. I was like, "Fuck, this is it." And I was absolutely buzzing, and I knew that from that point onwards, we're on this FT. There was 7 or 8 remaining. That I was going to go on and win this tournament. I just knew it, and I did. I went on and won it. There was there were some amazing hands, and somehow we spun up and won. Walked away with, I think it was just under £1,000. But unfortunately, some of it had to be in credit because they hadn't met the guarantee, so they paid the rest out in not credit. What do they call it? It's not. I keep wanting to say site credit because I keep using that all the time, but that phrase all the time. But it was vouchers. It was casino vouchers. So that was perfect because I was already planning on going to the Goliath in the August. Now this was in July 2023, and so I just pre-regged straight into the Goliath using those vouchers, and I pocketed the rest of the cash, which was excellent for me. So then, fast forward to 2023, the Goliath. That's my very first Goliath event, the one that Alex Todd won. And if you haven't seen that interview with Alex Todd, that was episode number 1. That was done last week. Go and check that out. I'll drop the little tab somewhere around here, and go and check that out if you haven't done so already. It'll be much more thrilling than this. If you are still here though, that is exactly what we did. So we went off to the Goliath, and we fired a couple of bullets into the Goliath. With no luck, we had some good hands again. I remember we got aces in 3. We got our aces in 3 ways, and we held. At one point, I got a great video of that somewhere on my phone. So that was good. That was a bit of excitement, but we had no luck in 2023. But we did, however, manage to spin up a stack in the Goliath Cup, the 550 Cup, and we actually made day 2 of the 550 Cup, which unfortunately in 2023 was not in the money by making day 2, and we bubbled. We pretty much stone bubbled the Goliath Cup in 2023 after going into day 2 top 3 stack size. So yeah, very disappointing. Very disappointing. We got put on a brand new table going into day 2, and I bluffed it all away. I think, if I remember, very early on that day 2, and we were just fighting fire from then onwards. So it was a bit of a shame. But yes, anyway, so that's it, Goliath. We've done that. We've gone and worked on the cruise ship. We've come back. We've got a job in insurance. I'm going to skip through a little bit here because I'm conscious of time and obviously people falling asleep. But so I'm now working in insurance, and that's what I currently do. And I've been to the Irish Open. Went in 2024. No, 2025. Been to the Irish Open in 2025. we stone bubbled the day before we left a 1K main event satellite. Stone bubbled it. I'd only played one, so it's my only fault. It's only my fault. Only me to blame. We played one satellite. It was so it's an $11 satellite into a 109 satellite, which would have got us a main event ticket. You had to finish 10th. Top 10 were paid a ticket to the 1K main event at the Irish Open, and Muggins here stone bubbled it and finished 11th. So that was disappointing, but we still went along and we played in the mini main, and I was staked by Ricky Dickadolf's wife actually for another bullet as well. And again, stone bubbled the mini main on one of our bullets. So that was disappointing, but an amazing trip. Again, spent lots of time with Ricky Dickadolf and Spraggy and Adam McCullough and the likes. So that was really fun. A really good few days away. And I took my Mrs. Lisa with me as well, and she came along and she was with all the wags, which was great. They enjoyed themselves. I had a great time whilst the lads played. And then I went again this year, which was slightly different because we had planned on playing satellites all month before going. But on the very first satellite we played a $11 satellite, one straight into the 109 satellite for the 1K, and we did it. First time of asking, we got ourselves a 1K main event seat at the Irish Open. Now, I didn't do any more. That was it for me. Once I'd done it, I'd got my seat. I was happy. I wasn't going to get greedy. I wasn't going to start throwing loads at different satellites and having loads of entries. Like a 1K main event is massive. I've never ever, that's the biggest buy-in I'll ever have. Not that it was my money that I was buying in with. I spent $11 on it. It was great for me, but I played in the 1K main, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good. We had a good run, a decent run. Wasn't to be. We ran. We lost a massive stack. I had pocket sevens, and we went 3 ways to a flop. Flop was ace 7-6, and of course I'm feeling great about it. And it all checks round. The flop checks round. There are 2 clubs on the board. Turn card comes. Was a king of clubs, completing a potential flush, and the short stack just jams for 25k. I can't remember what the blinds were now. It's irrelevant anyway. But he jams, and the guy to my right, Cameron, who Cass 89, I think he is on PokerStars. He tanked a little bit, and then he just called. And it left me in a really shit spot, if I'm honest with you. Contemplated for ages. It was for only about... It was a quarter of my stack, I say. Not only, but it was a quarter of my stack, I think. Maybe just over... Maybe it was half. Maybe it was half of my stack to call. And we were very similar stack sizes, me and Cam. Anyway, he put in the call, and I thought about it. And I called again. And we see the river card. And Cam just checks it to me. So I'm happy with my showdown at this point. I just check. And Cam turns over aces for a set of aces on the flop. I turn over my pocket sevens for a set on the flop. And matey boy who jammed on the turn card turns over a pair of sixes for a set on the flop. So we were set over set on the flop. And aces obviously took the quite large pot. So we were short after that, and couldn't spin it back up, unfortunately. But yeah, that was it. It was a good run in the main event. Really enjoyed it. Very, very cool to play in it. And if anyone hasn't been to the Irish Open, definitely go and check it out, because it is an amazing event. They do really run it superbly. You're never having to wait for tables. There's never alternates. You're just straight in every time. It's so slick and smooth. They really do a good job there. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, definitely get that on your radar for some point, and grind satellites online. You should be good. yes, so whilst I was at this Irish Open in 2026, I was having a conversation with Spraggy's content manager, Mac. Now, Mac is a Canadian chap who looks after Spraggy's YouTube and does all his content and stuff like that, and an amazing guy. And we were just talking about my stream, and I've been streaming GTA roleplay over the last couple of years, and I have a thing with accents, so I can do pretty much any accent you ask for. If you want a Scouse accent, I'll do your Scouse accent. I can talk to you for ages like this. Or if you take it into a Geordie or something like that, I can talk and do accents and have a great time with it. I do Scottish as well. So we're talking about the accents, and that went from doing the GTA roleplay and stuff like that to, I think you should start doing poker content but with accents. It would be great. And anyway, so I was like, I would love to, but I just wouldn't know really where to start, and I don't have the setup for it or anything like that. And he's just like, you just don't need to do it, just go for it, just be brave and do it. And I came back from that Irish Open thinking, do you know what, I'm right, he's right. I just got to do it. I just got to go and throw myself at it and try and create some content. And so I created an Instagram account in April. So we're only going back 2 months now. I've literally only had this account for 2 months. I've only been putting myself out there in terms of poker for 2 months. And I started creating content. I started posting some comedy stuff on there. And I mean, I sit here now and I'm talking on I'm creating this podcast like I'm some big shot, and I'm not. I'm not some big shot at all. I'm just here to document my journey and talk about it and how I've ended up here when I probably shouldn't be. I shouldn't have ended up here. I can't sit here and proclaim to be an amazing poker player. I'm not. I can't talk to you about the amazing wins I've had and the thousands and thousands of pounds that I've won, because I haven't won it. I'm not there. I've not done it, but I will. I will get there. I will win tournaments, and I want to be a name that people are going to know in poker. That's the agenda. That's what everyone wants, right? That's what everyone wants to be known in poker and make a name for themselves. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it through comedy poker content. And whilst I was in Dublin as well, before I started this, I've been talking to Big Lee, who is hilarious. And if you haven't checked him out before, definitely go and check him out, because he makes some great comedy content. And I guess between everyone there, Spraggy, Big Lee, Seb, all the guys that are posting regular poker content just inspired me. And I thought, what, I want to do this. I want to do it. Why not? One thing I'm not afraid of is putting myself out there, and I'm not shy. I'm happy to sit in front of a camera. I'm happy to listen to my own voice and talk. Perhaps I just lack confidence in achieving the goal necessarily. I'm happy to sit here and talk about it, but I don't believe in myself to make it happen. So I've got confidence, and I'm ballsy enough to sit here and do this podcast, make myself look like a twat on Instagram and post stupid skits. But yeah, I need to be more confident in putting it out there and actually believing in it and believing that I will grow from it. So I sit here talking to you now, and I have 152 followers on my new Instagram account. 152 followers in 2 months' work. It's not great. It's not great, is it? Let's be honest with you. I've done 32 posts on Instagram. I've done a lot more on my stories. I post a lot on stories, but I haven't posted enough content. I need to post more content. That's the plan moving forward. Posting. But one thing that has obviously helped me with my posting and my confidence is all in events, and that is where we are now. And I remember seeing a post from all in events, and I engaged with it. And next thing you know, Leon, who runs all in events, is in the DMs, and we are talking about the affiliate scheme. And we had a phone call. He just said like, let's just have a chat about it. Let's talk about it. So I picked up the phone, spoke to Leon, and he gave me this vision of all in events, and what he told me about it. He said that this is what we are, this is where we've come from, and this is what we want to achieve. And I remember I was at work at the time, but I just I took 10 minutes to have the phone call, and I felt so what's the word? Exhilarated. I felt so exhilarated after that. I felt so good after having that conversation with him. And I really saw from the conversation what value that I could bring to all in events as a new content creator, someone that's got a lot of confidence in terms of talking to people and putting myself out there. I saw what benefit I could have to the business and the business model, the plan that he had for growing all in events, targeting poker players that don't necessarily have a bankroll, that don't have opportunities to go and play in massive events, and actually giving them the opportunity to go and have 7 nights in Vegas with a 10k buy-in and go and have fun, go and make something of yourself from nothing. And that's what it does. It gives people the opportunities as well, hard to reach communities where they might not necessarily have access to the internet, might not be able to play online poker, might not be able to satellite into some of these big tournaments, and don't have the money to go and pay £200 to go and play in the Goliath. They might have enough money to go and pay £6 a week to go and play in the local Red Tooth or Nuts League or whatever down the pub, but they're not going to be able to ever justify spending £200 on a big poker tournament. But why should those players not be able to experience these opportunities? Why should they not be able to go to the Goliath? And yeah, okay, all right, it's personal preference and financial issues. People have got to live within their means, and if you can't afford £200, you shouldn't be going anyway. Is the view for some people? But actually, no, that is not the case. And we want to give people that opportunity that, you might not have the money to go. You might be able to afford a few pounds for a raffle. And if you go, if you win, you go. Brilliant. But if you don't win, you weren't going anyway. That's kind of, gives you that chance. It gives people that chance that actually, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a spin. I'm not going to the Goliath because I can't afford it. I'm not going to Vegas because I can't afford it, but I can afford a ticket. If I win, I win. If I don't, I've contributed to someone else having a life-changing moment, and good luck to them. And that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve big things for people that want to dream big. And that's it. It goes with the slogan, win the seat, live the dream. And I believed in it. So I said to Leon, I want this. This is what I want. I want to do this. This is really important to me now. I'm going to make this my priority. And I kind of guess ever since that happened, we're only talking, Jesus Christ, let me have a look. How long has this been? A month? Let's have a look at my first messages with Leon. I'm scrolling back a long way now. We message a lot. 12th of May. We're only over a month. I feel like I've been part of all in events for years. I've been engaging with so many different communities about all in events and what the business is trying to achieve. I've supported lots of people. I've had people win instant win prizes, merchandise. I haven't yet, as far as I know, had anyone win a big seat. That's to come. Okay, that is to come. That's going to happen. Someone is going to win big using my referral code. That will happen. Trust it. Believe in the process. It's AW Poker for those that don't know it. If you go onto All In Events and use AW Poker in your discount code, you get 10% off, and you will win. One day. Maybe the next time you do it. Log on now and just quickly do it. Just quickly buy a ticket. Get 10% off. Use AW Poker. And you might win. You will win. I believe in it. Believe in the process. Close your eyes as you pay for it. Don't accidentally put 200 tickets rather than 2. Because if you close your eyes, there is a chance you might do that. So keep them open for that bit. But of course, if you want to play devil's advocate and just close your eyes and you don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But yes, anyway, that is it. That's where we are. We're now creating podcast-style interviews with All In Events, and we're doing content, and there's lots more to come. We are, like I say, we are a month in. We're a month into this. Like, it's bizarre. It's mad. And I've loved every second of it. And the community is amazing. Lots of great people involved. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. So yeah, that's my journey. That's where we are. I guess I've really gone on far too much. And I didn't realise we'd be sat here 46 minutes in, just me talking about myself. And I don't want to listen to this back, really. I'm just going to run with it. And I'm going to leave you guys to make up your minds on whether you thought this was worthwhile or I've bored you to sleep. But actually, perhaps some of you have fallen asleep by now, and you've enjoyed listening to my tones. So, but thank you for listening to my journey so far. I probably missed bits. I didn't write it down. I've just done this completely off the cuff. I've got no notes in front of me. I've got nothing. I've just spoken to you from my heart and where I am now. Been a bit open about obviously the gambling issues in the early days, but yeah, we're over them now. We're over them now. So yeah, what you do when you're young is you know, you do it when you're young. Hey, you live and learn. So yeah, I'm now working with All In Events, and we are making the dreams happen for lots of people. Very excited about the Goliath this year, where we're all going to be meeting up. We're going to be doing loads of content. I've got loads of stuff in the pipeline, lots of people to bring on to the podcasts and interview and have chats with. So stay tuned for those. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. And if you've got any feedback or you want to subscribe, hit the like button. Please do get involved. Your support is much appreciated. If you don't follow me on Instagram. aw.poker is the username. We are on Twitch, and we are streaming poker on Twitch as well. We go by the Unmasked Streamer on Twitch. The Unmasked Streamer, that is the name. I used to be the masked streamer when I was in the police. I used to stream with a balaclava on. We no longer do that. We are the Unmasked Streamer now. We may change that name, but it's very much how I'm known within the Spraggies poker community and on Twitch. So I've kept it the same for now. We might change it. We might not. We might just leave it. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this nearly 50-minute chat with myself. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a bit more about me. And yeah, look forward to hosting some more podcasts with you and getting some amazing guests on the show with me as well. So without further ado, I'm going to love and leave you in peace. My name's Adam Wengro. I've been your host. I have been your subject. I'll see you in the next one.